do an insight video today. I've been thinking a lot about purposes and why we're here, and I've been reading a lot about round light workers. It's a terminology that is talked about a lot in spiritual sort of like communities and realms. There's loads of groups that are connected to it, and I was listening to a podcast about it the other day, and it sort of like was making sense to me in my own life, but also experiences and in spiritual reality. And I was thinking about the term light worker, and it's like these are souls, these are beings that we're like in realms of light, and then they incarnate, they come back down to the planet, and that the whole purpose is to support ascension, which is ascension is the process of beings waking up, or spiritual beings waking up to like the universal law of oneness and the unity of the spirit world. But they also sort of like there's no separation. Light workers sort of like when they awaken, they realise there's no separation. But it can be quite difficult because as a light worker, because of where you come from and the realms that you've lived in, sometimes it's quite difficult to accept the human experience, and you come down with your gifts of healing and light and energy, and from a place of where you lived in unity, and you were like in like spiritual realms of light and energy, where there's harmony, balance, peace, and then you come down to sort of like a world of the human existence, which is very much sort of like, as we're moving from the 3D reality, which is very much around materialism, and a lot of kind of a lot of the kind of sort of like where the vibration is very much around like the external world, and being spiritual is it's more about the internal world, where creation happens from there. That's where your source energy is, your light, and you come into this heavier and denser energy and vibration. And when you connect to it, you start to sort of like feel sort of like the world, and how it's like about out of balance, and where everything's sort of like money and like materialism and the chaos of it and stuff like that, and it's trying to really sort of like come down, sort of like awaken and start to sort of like express light and energy, and start to live your life in a more spiritual way. And this time is about that. It's about sort of ascension. Is about moving back into oneness, connecting back into the spirit world, the spiritual dimensions, the spiritual realities. And as light workers and as all beings, we've come down here for a reason, and the reason is to shift and change this reality, so it starts to come in harmony with the universal reality. It starts to come into harmony with the spiritual realms, the spiritual realities, the different dimensions, the different collectives. And we've all come down for that reason. And this is what the angels are doing. This is what the masters are doing. They're awakening us to our light, so we can start to sort of like express our light and start to connect in a more spiritual way and walk as spirit on the planet. Everything is light and energy. Light, is this kind of energy that, and the realms of light, the spiritual realms of light, are this where you're in harmony, you're in unity, you're connected with source energy, you're connected with all beings, and you know that when you awaken to that, you're part of like a universal family. You also know there's no separation, that these realms and these realities are working with you, and you are connected to them, and you are part of them. Whether you're in the physical body or not, you're still connected to these spiritual realms and realities, and you're still connected to source. You're still connected to this energy where you can shift and change and express your vibration in a way that you can bring harmony to your own life, but harmony to the planet, and harmony to the collective, which we are. We're all these beings on this planet at the moment. We're a collective. Each and every one of us knows we're part of each other. So the purpose of why we're here is to ascend, and ascension is going back to union and oneness of light and energy. And each and every one of us knows that each other being on this planet is part of that, and we need to sort of connect to each other in that way, to see each other as we're part of a whole. We're part of a universal family of light and energy. And this is what the masters tell us. This is what the angels tell us. And this is what we're here for. I was sitting there yesterday, and I was looking at my watch, and I was running on the treadmill, and I was drawn to the number 888. And again, this is like the angels working through you. The angels number 888 is positivity, abundance, and it's creation. And it's the infinite cycle of life. It's the energy's there. It's coming in. It's always flowing into your life. It's always there. It's always around you. And again, this is an expression. This is again part of the awakening, part of the ascension, that we're awareness that we're all part of a whole, and that energy is always around us. That more and more as I go down this journey, and I start to connect more and more deeper, I feel my vibration. I feel my vibration as a spiritual being, and it's more about me being in that vibration. And the external world is fluid. It's like when I'm connected into my own vibration, and I'm vibrating with my source energy, my external reality is mirrored and created and manifested around that vibration, that frequency, or that source of energy that's vibrating in me, and it shifts my consciousness, it shifts my understanding, and it shifts my way of being, and it shifts it to a place where I start to then look for outcomes in like realities and outcomes in reality and experiences and events, where I start to see the whole, and I start to see how what's the best outcome that is for everyone. So when I heal now, when I was healing for years, I used to think about the individual person, but now when I heal, I'm not looking at the individual person. I'm looking at every being that is impacted by that event. So if somebody's lost somebody, or had a traumatic event, it doesn't just affect that one person. It affects the whole. It affects all beings that have been impacted by that. So now when I'm healing, it's like I'm thinking, who are the people around? If I know physically who those people are, I try and visualize them, and I try and send energy and light to those beings. But obviously, if I don't know, I ask for the greatest good and the greatest outcome for all beings that have been impacted or been affected by that. Because everything's about coming back into harmony. Everything's about coming back into source, and it's about acceptance, and not holding on to things, not being attached to things. Because if you're attached to something, you're in a sense you're feeling like that thing's driving you. So in a sense, you're losing that energy, that vibration, that frequency, because you're feeling in a sense powerless, which isn't, which we are never powerless. We have infinite source energy in each and every one of us. So for me, everything's shifting in how I see it, how I see sort of like purpose. I see reality, and I see my own spiritual journey, which for a long time, there was many times in my life where I would walk through life feeling like I should be doing something different, or I feeling I should be somewhere else. As like when this new sort of vibration of frequency comes in, it's not about being anywhere. I'm exactly where I should be, and the acceptance of that is accepting that I'm here to spread light, spread energy, share insight, share understanding, and that's each and every one of our purposes. It's not just mine. It's all of our purposes. This is what we're all here for. We've all got that potential. We've all got that ability, and we all have that energy. And it's each and every one of us to awaken to it and see how we express and spread that light, that energy. Because the more we spread that light and the energy on the planet, the more the planet's gonna sort of like ascend. And ascension for the planet again is very much connected to, like when you talk about light workers, and ascension is moving to oneness. Well, that's the ascension for the planet. The planet ascension is to come back into oneness, which means then it's connected to the spirit world, the universal communities, the guides, the universal teachers, the masters, and this is what this time's about. As you know, as I talk about this, I feel my hands are like really, really buzzing with like this energy, this beautiful universal energy as it flows through me. There's loads of things that have happened in my sort of like experience in my journey over the last couple of weeks, and it's shifting and changing in lots of different ways. Another thing was like balance. I was talking about on one of the readings, and it's a really important thing, balance. Because like I think a lot of light workers or spiritual beings go out there and they're giving of themselves all the time. But how many of you are consciously opening to your channel, opening to the the universal energy, the infinite energy? How many of you are consciously opening yourself up so you create a channel that gives and receives, which is like the balance of the universe, the balance of spiritual reality is receiving and giving and expressing and becoming that open channel. I think a lot of us sort of like give, and are waiting to see for something to happen, or to look for the insights and the universe to communicate and show us. Well, it's not going to show if you're not open to receive. You need to be open to receive as well. You have to express your light, give it, but you also have to be open to it. And it's opening up your spiritual channel to start to receive it. Your spiritual channel opens you up to your source energy, your source light. It opens you up to the spiritual reality, the spiritual dimensions, the guides, the angels. It allows you to start to vibrate, but it also allows you to walk as spirit on the human plane, which is what all of us are, spirit on the human plane. So it's about us sort of like awakening to that and walking as it. Not seeing the physical limitations of this reality, which is very much connected to like the physical world. The physical world is the illusion, because at the end of the day, when you're in the spiritual vibration and frequency, you are the creator of that reality. So opportunities and situations and events come up, and then you have a choice to how you manifest in that reality. And spiritual reality is always looking for the whole. It's looking for the greatest outcome for all beings. For all beings. It's not about you. If you're seeing yourself from a singular perspective, then you're still seeing yourself from, not in a collective way. If you're seeing yourself from a singular way, you're not in unity. You're not in oneness. You're not in an alignment, because spiritual beings have an infinite picture, an infinite viewpoint of all things as they play out. Some people, when they get to this stage, can see different realities, and different pathways that they can actually take. When they get to this stage where they really start to come into their universal being, they can see that there's many different sort of like choices they can make that will shift and change reality to many different outcomes. Also, presence is really important, and like Eckhart Tolle talks about the power of now. Well, that makes a lot of sense, because the past is gone, and whatever energetic cords you have from the past, you can get those cut, and you can ask Archangel Michael for that, for protection and to help release you from those energetic cords. You can ask Archangel Raphael to help heal you with those. You've got Archangel Chamuel, which is about love, universal love, balance, union, and that can help bring you back into source. You can talk to Archangel Raziel, who can help you with the universal. He's got the universal keys, can help bring this universal light, energy, understanding, to bring you back into your universal being. And you are a universal being, because there's an infinite universe out there, and we're all part of it. So there's many different ways of doing it, and there's many different ways of connecting in. You've got Almora that can help you with the divine intelligence, the infinite source of life. You've got Serapis Bey that you can call upon, who will shine light and give truth and clarity of the situation, but it also will help you move into ascension, which is coming back in again into oneness. So if there's stuff that's out of oneness in your life, you can connect to Serapis Bey for that. You've got Saint Germain, transformation and transmutation. Again, this is different states of being. This is again about unifying you, bringing you back into harmony, bringing you back into your state of being where you're in source and you're into oneness. And when you can do that, you can shift and change reality at will. And this is what this time's about. There's lots and lots of stuff. You've got Lord Lanto as well, who was about illumination. So again, Lord Lanto can bring you into your source energy, illuminate your energy, get you on a vibration. And illumination then will give you clarity and insight. It will give you and also shift you to a different vibration. And when you shift to that vibration, then what you'll do again, your consciousness will expand, and as your consciousness expands, then you'll be able to see a situation in a different way. I've been doing a lot of stuff where I've been anchoring energy as well, and I bring it in for all beings. I don't just do it for one being now, I do it for all beings. So where I would go to work and I would anchor in light in many different rooms and many different areas of the building, and I would anchor it in for all beings in that area. But again, you can go even higher. You can start to express and bring the energy in from the universe into that space, creating sacred spaces. Create sacred space within yourself where you're in union with your own source energy, but create sacred spaces as well, and anchor energy in sacred spaces where you are, and where you're sort of like where you're present, like in your workplace, within your house, within everywhere. And you'll start to see then that basically, and you can do this remotely as well. You don't have to do this like to be in the building. I just do it in the building because I go there every day. Remotely, you can bring the energy in by doing that as well. Remotely is sort of like sending your energy, your conscious mind or your universal mind to a space or a place, or to a being, and you'll see that energy will travel because there's no distance, there's no space, there's no there's no time, there's nothing. There just is one vibration. And when you're working for that one vibration, and you consciously send something out there, then you're instantly connected. And that's how the spirit world works as well. And the spirit world is working like that all the time, that you're instantly connected. There is no separation. So there's a lot of stuff that we can do at the moment to start to bring our vibrations into harmony, into union and alignment, and this will start to then bring physical reality, human self, into source energy, infinite self, but also spiritual self, into your authentic self, your true nature, your true essence. And this is happening all the time at the moment. You've got the universal laws as well. So we've got all these tools. Universal law of oneness, the fundamental universal law of all, where all other laws basically are from. You've got universal law of vibration. The universal law of oneness is everything, and all other basically, all other sort of universal laws go back into that one. Universal law of vibration, correspondence again, which is about when you awaken to your inner light, your inner source, and then you start to realise you create from that source. So the outer reality is only a reflection of your inner reality. You've got universal law of transmutation, transformation. So and everything's about balance as well. So there's so much going on at the moment. I could start talking about this for for quite a while. I could start bringing in many different links. So that's the insight video for today. Remember that number, Angel 888. I saw it, but I feel it's for a lot of people at the moment. There's a lot of abundance. There's a lot of infinite creation around all of us, and it's about awakening to it and having the awareness that you are a source energy, and a light, and all you have to do is remain in that light, express it, and get into that vibration. Practice being in that vibration. The more you do that, the more the external world will then be a reflection of your inner world, which is again the universal law of correspondence. So that's the insight for today. Have a great day, and I'll check out my Facebook page, subscribe, like, follow. Any comments would be brilliant, because anybody's experience is always great to share. And I shall see you soon. Have a great day.